Scene Mom says, welcome to the podcast from former Phoenix radio host Danny Cutler. Each week bringing you independent music, industry news, the occasional interview, and other fun segments. Let's get to it. Scene Mom says hello and welcome to episode 86. I'm Danny, your host and Scene Mom, and I'm very glad that you have joined me. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm back this week with a regular show. I did really enjoy chatting with Mike Zimmerlich, though. We had a great conversation, and the last two episodes are part 1 and 2 of that conversation. It is something that I think will work whether you're a musician, an artist, or any small business owner. You can glean something from the tips that we gave to have more eyes and ears on your music. And I'm also excited to see if I will stick to my 1 or more interviews a month intention that I have for this year. Do have some feelers out for February, so we'll see how that goes. A lot has happened news-wise in these past couple of weeks. As I said before the interview, in the last show, we did announce Montapalooza. It's a new music festival which will take place at the end of May at the gorgeous park and amphitheater in my town. I'm so very excited that we have such a great lineup planned. And if anyone in Arizona is looking to start their summer vacations in Massachusetts, well, you should come on out the weekend of May 30th. It is absolutely a perfect time of year, just gorgeous in north central Massachusetts. I also have some news about the Mesa Music Festival. They moved the festival to October because they didn't want to overlap with another pretty big event that's happening in Phoenix at the same time in April. So now it's going to be from October 15th through 17th. I do remember how difficult it was to plan events around other events when I worked for KWSS and I had to plan our fundraisers. Sure, it is definitely normal to have many choices each weekend, but for some reason, since the shutdown fake ended in Phoenix, it's been way more difficult because everybody plays everywhere all the time. At least that's how it was when I left in 2023. I don't know if that's calmed down since, but who knows in a couple of years. But anyway, what does that mean for my travel? Nothing. I'm still going to drive out in April because I do plan on seeing family and friends that are scattered along my route, so that is not going to change. And I can do my work from anywhere, so I'm bringing work with me. Plus, I really miss my daughters. I have not seen my younger child since last April. I saw my older one in August. She came out when we went to Boston Fan Expo. It'll be a year by the time I see my younger child again, and that's not right. I'm also going to go back in October too for the festival to speak, but I think that time I'm just going to fly out and just stay for the festival weekend. Artists, I do have an email out to the organizers of Mesa Music Festival to see if they are keeping the submissions open longer now because of that. I'll let you know when I know. All right, so let's get back to it. I do have your music news, music history, a marketing tip, and some positive news to share this week, and 5 amazing indie tracks. So let's get back to the music with some music from one of our 5 main stage artists that are playing the first Montapalooza. I have played the Maladaptive before on the show, and I'm so excited to include them in this new festival. This track is called Used to It, and you're listening to What Scene Mom Says.
Doctor, can you please
C-Mom says it's time for some music news. Bandcamp has taken a notably different approach to the AI music boom by officially banning music that is generated wholly or in substantial part by artificial intelligence from its platform, urging the community to flag suspicious tracks for review and removal as part of its effort to keep Bandcamp human. The policy also prohibits the use of AI tools to impersonate real artists or mimic their styles, positioning Bandcamp as one of the first major music services to draw a clear line on generative AI, even as other platforms like Spotify, TikTok, and Deezer wrestle with how to handle AI content more loosely. While industry bodies such as the Recording Academy and the U.S. Copyright Office have begun drawing legal distinctions between human authorship and purely AI-generated works, there is still no universal standard, and it leaves enforcement and interpretation murky in many parts of the music ecosystem. Now, y'all know how much I love Bandcamp. I push them whenever I can. Bandcamp Friday is this Friday, the 6th, as a matter of fact. And I always look there first for new music from indie artists so that I can support them by buying their singles and albums. To have them go this route just gives them even more clout in my book. It's really not a difficult decision to make. You either allow it or you don't. The reason the streaming sites don't want to be overly against AI music is because those companies make the most money with their label deals and subscriptions. No one wants to say that part out loud, but I believe that's the bottom line. The streaming services aren't artists first, and Bandcamp is. All right. In other news, at the 68th Grammy Awards in Los Angeles, music's biggest night brought both historic wins and some standout performances. Bad Bunny made history by winning Album of the Year, the first Spanish-language album ever to take home the top prize. Kendrick Lamar and SZA claimed Record of the Year for Luther, while Billie Eilish scored Song of the Year with Wildflower. British singer-songwriter Olivia Dean captured Best New Artist, which signaled her rising star status, and other notable winners included Lady Gaga for Best Pop Vocal Album and Jelly Roll for the Best Contemporary Country Album. And several artists did use their acceptance speeches to address social and cultural issues, especially around immigrant rights. Also, there were some interesting, memorable moments like Chappell Roan's outfit. Ouch! Every year for the Grammys and also the Academy Awards, everyone argues about whether celebrities should speak out about political events. And it seems like a no-brainer to me. Of course they should. If I had a platform that large, I absolutely would use it. It doesn't hurt them, but it keeps the spotlight on the issues. And honestly, if you flip it, plenty of celebrities speak out for reasons that are the opposite of some of the things we heard at the Grammys this year. And well, I don't have to listen to their music or support them, right? And I don't. But we all have the right to speak. Doesn't matter our status. All right, finally, the Red Hot Chili Peppers are publicly distancing themselves from an upcoming Netflix documentary about the band after expressing concerns about how the film was produced and represented. Members have stated that they were not sufficiently involved in the project's creative process and that the final cut doesn't reflect their perspectives or intentions, prompting them to urge fans to take the film with a grain of salt. Netflix and the documentary's producers have defended the project as an independent artistic work, but the tension does highlight ongoing debates about artist control and narrative ownership in music documentaries, especially when streaming platforms assemble archival material with limited band participation. I will have to see it, but I can't help but think that maybe they just don't like what will be said about them. I feel like if the bands really want to speak up about this stuff, so get involved with it. I don't know, unless they're trying to hide something. I don't know. I'll report back after I see it. That is your music news this week. And if you have any feedback or other thoughts, you can get in touch with email cmomsays@gmail.com.
I'm gonna change your mind. I'm gonna take you through the steps till I do. Let's take a dive to the deep water, see a friend of mine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look out. I see a sickle rhymes and I don't blame you, it's clearly my fault. Try 1,000 times and then randomly it all comes out right. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm gonna change your mind. I'm gonna change your mind. I know you're so inclined. rhymes and I don't blame you, it's clearly my fault. Try 1,000 times and then randomly it all comes out right. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm gonna change your mind. I'm gonna change your mind. I know you're so inclined. I'm gonna change your mind.
That was Boston band The Grown Up Noise with Change Your Mind. Their new album called No Straight Line in the Universe will be available on Friday the 6th, and they're having a release show on Saturday the 7th. So far, the weather has been okay, so I do plan on driving out to Medford and attending, but I have to watch the weather closely because a 90-minute drive up and down the mountains can be interesting if the weather isn't cooperating. C-Mom says, it is time for some music history. On January 26th in 1970, Led Zeppelin's Whole Lotta Love was banned by some U.S. radio stations because of its raw lyrics and heavy sound, and it rattled gatekeepers, signaling a shift towards louder, freer rock radio. On January 28th in 1985, We Are the World was recorded. Dozens of pop's biggest stars gathered in one studio to create a charity single that reshaped celebrity activism in music. Great documentary on Netflix about that as well. On January 29th in 1977, The Clash released their debut album in the UK. Raw, political, and loud, the record ignited punk rock's explosion and permanently altered rock's attitude. See? Politics has always been in music. On February 3rd in 1959, it was called The Day the Music Died. Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and the Big Bopper were killed in a plane crash, which was a tragic moment that forever altered rock history. And on February 8th in 1964, the Beatles arrived in New York City. They touched down at JFK, igniting Beatlemania in the U.S. and setting the stage for their iconic Ed Sullivan Show appearance. And that is some music history for you this week.
Scream with the queens.
That was former Phoenix band, now Seattle-based band, The Darts with Apocalypse. Their next album, called Halloween Love Songs, will be released on March the 3rd. I will, of course, have everything linked for you in the show notes. C-Mom says it's time for your marketing tip of the week. Don't buy into rage bait. Why do I say this? We are easily triggered by the things that make us angry, aren't we? Social media algorithms are designed to make you angry. Their only goal is to make you stay on their site. That's it. So they push the negative content higher and more respond because they get angry. So they're leaving comments and then boom, you're seeing more of it and more of it in your feed. It easily takes a life of its own. And even I fall for it every now and then. We all get angry. The best thing you can do is just try not to fall for it, of course. And please don't use it for your business or brand. Now, rage bait doesn't just have to be political. You don't have to have a poll on the, quote, worst whatever of all time, or the video ranting that others in your field are doing wrong to prove that you're better. You have to be inclusive and collaborative. I know that's really weird, but people like to react to the negative and then it just gets more negative, and it's really unfair. Your business is more than clicks on social media. If you have a strong promotion strategy and a marketing plan, then you won't have to rely on rage bait to get eyes on your work. As always, if you want to chat more about marketing and promoting your music or your brand, you can schedule a consultation with me at dannycutler.com, and you can also subscribe to the newsletter that comes out roughly every other week, pretty much twice a month, for even more. And there is also the private Facebook group, and I will have all the links in the show notes.
Slow. How do you speak when you're not
Phoenix. That was one of my many favorite darkwave bands, Paper Foxes and Exodus, off their brand new album, Rituals. It is a nonstop dance party, you guys. They are doing a little tour this month, heading across the globe with shows in Belgium, France, and a little closer to me, Brooklyn, New York. I saw their very first show many years ago, and I'm so happy with how far they have come. Good work, guys. The album's great. Go look it up. C-Mom says now it is time for some cool, positive news. A Spanish artist is turning an entire French wheat field into a photographic image. Almudena Romero has begun work on farming photographs. It's a year-long collaboration with the INRAE, France's National Institute for Agriculture, Food, and the Environment. By spring, a 2-hectare field will reveal a giant eye grown directly from the land. Instead of chemicals or cameras, Romero is using photosynthesis itself. Each wheat plant acts as a pixel with subtle pigment variations, creating an image that slowly appears as the crop matures. The project reimagines the 19th century anthotype technique at the environmental scale. The work will be visible from above and will shift with light, weather, and the rhythm of the seasons. It will also end where it began, in the community. Once the image has fully emerged, the wheat can then be harvested, milled, and distributed locally as flour. INRAE researcher Claire Manceau called it a meeting of art and ecology that shows how creativity can reconnect us with the land. is another dark wave post-punk band from the Netherlands, Palais Ideal, and Here and Now. And that is it for episode 86. Links to all the music and news heard this week will be in the show notes. If you have any feedback, you can always get in touch on social media. CMomSays on Facebook and DCutlerAZ everywhere else. And you can email cmomsays@gmail.com. And if you like what you hear, please share. I appreciate all of the support, and it also helps support these independent artists. Thanks as always for listening, and you'll hear me again soon. You've been listening to the Scene Mom Says podcast. Intro, outro music is Look Good for the Radio by Fairy Bones. Learn more about Danny and the show at dannycutler.com.